Good evening, children. 6th, 7th, 8th standard science. Today we are going to see the topic force and pressure. In force and pressure lesson, the friction topic is the topic of today. Generally, first, what is force? Yes, we know about the concept of force. Yes, force. What is force? Force is nothing but we are doing so many works each and every day. We are doing lot of works. We want to do the work means we need some energy to do that work. So that kind of energy is otherwise called as nothing but that force. We want to move a draw, we want to write, we want to read, we want to move from one place to another. For each and every actions, we need some energy. That kind of energy is called as force. Okay. So we want to move a chair or we want to move a bench in a classroom means we need some energy. With the help of the energy, we move the bench or chair. So that is called as force. The external force is applied in that area. So that is the explanation of force. Force is defined as an external energy which change the state of rest of the uniform. Okay, yeah. So force is nothing an external energy we need which changes to change the state of rest. Yes, the bench is in rest condition means we want to move the bench means we need some force. That kind of action is called force. External energy which changes to change the rest of that material. Okay, so this is the explanation of the force. There are different kinds of forces, static force, like that. Okay, so what is the effect of force? Yes, we need some examples for the effect of forces. Effect of forces means when we apply the energy to that material means the work was done that place. Yes, the batsman was in cricket. The strokes a batsman in cricket team if he wants to hit the cricket ball to the boundary. So the striking force on the ball must that greater. Okay. So the greater force you apply the body, the greater will be the effects on it. When we took more energy to study your syllabus for examination means definitely you will get more success in that mark. Okay. So the external force is your attention was higher to your studies, or otherwise you are a sportsman example. So your attention is higher than that sports. So in that area, you will get more success in that area. So external energy will apply higher in that place. Okay. Next one is pressure, force, pressure, friction. These three concepts are related. Force, pressure, and friction. These three are the related topics. What is meant by pressure? The effect of the force can be measured using the physical quantity. The effect of force. Effect of force can be measured. The measurement, okay, using the physical quantity is called as pressure. So what is the meaning of pressure? Effect of force. Force means we want to move one material, means we need some external energy supplied in that, the rest of the material. The effect of force can be measured using the physical quantity. The batsman pressure is higher means he will score the six runs, or otherwise the effect is very low means just he got only 1 or 2 runs, or otherwise 4 runs, like that. Depends upon the effect that. Yes, what is your doubt? Someone asked the doubt. Yes, ask me, students. Cherapalli Reddy, Dharmendra. Yes, ask me your doubt, pa. So that effect of force can be measured using that physical quantity is called pressure. How can we measure the pressure? That force by area. The formula of pressure is force by area. So this is the formula for calculate the pressure, that is P equal to F by A. Yes, just type your questions. I will explain that answer of your questions. Okay. So the SI unit of pressure is Pascal. 1 Pascal is equal to Newton meter square. So pressure is exerted by a force, depends on the magnitude of the force and the area of contact. Okay. So pressure is means the effect of force can be measured using the physical quantity defined as an amount of force or acting the perpendicular on a surface of an area. So the formula of the pressure is force by area, that is P equal to F by A, force by area. Okay. So next one is friction. Yes, this is your right concept. So friction is related to force and pressure. What is friction? Yes, we walk on the road, we ride on the road, the help of two-wheeler or four-wheeler, ride that. Okay. We walk on the road without falling. Why? Because we tend to fall when we walk on the wet surfaces, because the roads are safely, the friction between the feet and the road. So some frictions are in that area. So, but the friction is less when we walk on the surface on the sand, so will tend to fall. In wet area, there is no friction, is less. Dry area means friction is higher. Friction level is higher in dry area. In wet area, friction is less in that area, so that we fall down. When we walk in fast manner in wet area, definitely we will fall down. Or in dry area, the friction is higher, so we never fall down in that place. So frictional force or friction areas when two or more bodies to contact, move or tend to move. This is called friction. Friction means friction force. Frictional forces arises when two or more bodies in contact. Yes, we walk means definitely we need some contact our feet and road, is it? Contact move. So the relative is to other. This is the concept of friction. Frictional force arises when two or more bodies in contact move relative to each other. So this is that explanation of the friction. Acts always in the opposite direction of moving body. Okay, so the force is produced due to the geometrical dissimilarities of the surface of bodies. Friction is opposes the motion. Friction is always opposes the motion. And then next, it causes wear the surface of contact and produce the heat also. Yes, the friction produce heat. Why the heat energy is produced? Yes, just we want to rub our hands. Yes, this is very cold time also. This winter time, yes, we want to rub our hand gently in the morning time or evening time. It at any time, yes, the heat energy is produced in that area. Or otherwise, just you take one small size of iron material or like that, just you scrub in that road, or two, just you take out two nails, rub it gently within a few seconds or few minutes. After a few minutes, the spark will come from that area. Definitely we will see that because of that heat energy. When we rub to material, the heat energy is produced on that area. So the friction produce heat energy. Okay, friction is nothing. The frictional force or friction arises when two or more bodies to contact move are relative to each other. Okay, so what are the types of frictions? There are different kinds of frictions. One is static friction, kinetic friction. Okay, one is static, another one is kinetic. Type of frictions. One is static. What is static friction? Static friction means the bodies which are at rest is called static. The pen is in static posture. There is no movement. Okay, so this is called as static friction. Kinetic friction means the motion of the bodies are called as kinetic friction. Moving bus, moving car, moving that wind. These are all the example of kinetic friction. Static friction, the bodies which are at rest is called as static friction. What is static friction? The bodies which are at rest is called as static friction. All the objects are rigidly placed in that earth. Okay. All the immovable object is called as static frictions. Example of static friction means all the immovable objects in that earth. Okay. Next one is kinetic friction. What is kinetic friction? Moving bodies are the examples of kinetic friction. Okay. Friction existing during the motion. Motion of bodies is called as kinetic friction. Kinetic friction is classified into some kinds between the surfaces in contact called sliding friction. Body rolls on over the other surface. The friction is acting between the surface contact is rolling friction. Rolling friction is less than the sliding friction. So rolling and then riding frictions are the types of kinetic friction. Friction existing during the motion of bodies is called as kinetic. Kinetic friction can be divided into two types, that is sliding and rolling. Sliding and rolling are the type of kinetic frictions. So, factors. What is sliding friction means? Is there any doubts, Pa? Yeah, first concept we learnt what is force and what is pressure and what is friction. What is the concept of friction? What is the properties of the friction? Properties means friction opposes the motion, causes the surface contact, and then it produces heat. These are all the general properties. What are the types of friction means? Static friction and then kinetic friction. The kinetic friction also divided into two types. One is sliding and another one is rolling friction. When a body slides over the surface, the another body, that is called as sliding. What is sliding friction? The sliding friction means body slides over the surface of another body is called as sliding friction. You know the game of sliding. Yes, sliding game is interesting game in playground. Each and every students are always interested to play in a slide. Sit or not? Yes. The friction acting between the surface when a body is over the surface of another body. So the friction is acting between the surface and contact is called sliding friction. The friction another body and then the friction acting between the surface. Between the surface of the slides. So that is called as sliding friction. So when a body is roll over the another surface, roller goes and then the each and every suitcase are having the roller part. So when we move the suitcase means easily moved because the roller is rotated. So the rolling wheel is rotated, automatically the boxes move from one to another places. Though the body rolls over the another surface, the friction acting between the surfaces in contact is a rolling friction. This is the explanation of sliding, sorry. And then next one is rolling friction. The body is rolls on that area. The rolls over another the surface. Okay. The ball is just to you through the ball means so we move the ball in that area that is in plain floor means the ball is always rolling in that area. The two small kids are playing with the ball game means they roll the ball in the floor means the ball is roll. So the surface contact to the ball and the floor only. So the ball is roll on that area. So this is the example of rolling friction. So the rolling friction means nothing. The body rolls over another surface. So the friction is between the surfaces contact. Friction between the another contact. So this is called as rolling friction. Rolling friction is the example of rolling of ball. Rolling friction is less than the sliding friction because the wheels are provided in vehicles and trolleys, suitcases for the example of a rolling friction. Okay. Next is the factors affecting the frictions. What are the factors affecting the frictions? Factors affecting the friction means nature, weight, and then area. These three concepts, nature and weight and area. These three concepts are affected the frictions. How the nature is affect the friction? Yes, moving an object on a rough surface, it will be difficult, but we can easily move it on a smooth surface because the friction varies between the surfaces. So, move nature of a surface. Nature of a surface. One is rough surface. Another one is smooth surface. Rough surface is difficult to move. Is it or not? Yes, the rough surface, we need some energy to move that area. Smooth surface, easy to move. So the nature of the surface, the friction effect is differ. Moving an object on rough surface will be difficult. Can easily move it on a smooth surface because the friction varies between the surfaces. Surfaces is differ. Surfaces is differ in rough and then smooth surfaces. Rough surface to move difficult, but smooth surface we can easily cross an area. So depends upon the surface nature, the friction action is different. Next one is weight. Weight of the body. Yes, normally cycle or two-wheeler, how many passengers are allowed to ride that by a bicycle or two-wheeler? Minimum two. Okay, minimum or maximum, minimum two or three only. But a parent carries 4 members in the two-wheeler, in especially in small vehicle, not gear vehicle means the vehicle is, the two-wheeler is moving on the road in very slow manner only. But on opposite side, only one passenger, that is only one man is riding the vehicle, is moving on that road means he is in he move on the cross the road in fast manner. Why? Because in there are two roads here. This is the two-wheeler or TVS 50 like that, and heavy vehicle or gear vehicle. Okay, Suzuki. Only one person. Only one person only ride in Suzuki. In TVS 50, there are 5 members are riding in this area. Means how the two-wheelers are moving in this place, which is in higher speed, which is in lower speed? Yes, the only one person means a single person ride the two-wheeler means yes, he is crossed the road within half an hour or 10 kilometers. But in this side, the TVS 50 took more than 1 hour because the weight of the vehicle is higher. So, weight of the body means easy to pedal your cycle without any load, or otherwise the load plates on a carrier, it is difficult to move because the weight on the carrier increases the friction. The weight is increases the friction. Okay, so it took more time to cross. The surface of the tire and the road is the friction between is higher. Okay, so this is the concept of weight of the body. So when you ride your bicycle without any load, without any load means any weight, it will be easy to pedaling, easy to pedal. There is no weight in the carrier of the bicycle, or otherwise when you carry a 100 kg rice bag in your carrier, 100 kg rice bag in your carrier means pedaling is tough or easy? Tough or easy? Yes, definitely it is very tough to pedal the bicycle because 100 kg rice bag is in your carrier. So the weight is loaded. So it is difficult to move the bicycle. The friction is increases in this place. Friction is increases in this area. Friction is lesser compared to this bicycle. Okay, in this cycle, there is no load in that, in your carrier. But 100 kg rice bag is in your carrier means the pedaling is tough because the friction is increases in that place. So this is the concept of weight. Weight of the body is related to the friction, affecting the friction. Third one is area. Third concept is how the area is affected the friction. Yes, example, friction is directly related to the area because contact between the two surfaces. Contact between the two surfaces. So, for example, area of contact means the weight. The friction is directly related to the area of contact between two surfaces. If the area of contact is greater than the friction will be greater too. Area of the contact is greater. Area of the contact is greater means the friction will be greater. Area of the contact is lesser. A road roller has a broad case. A road roller is the broad wheel. Sit or not? Road roller. Yes, each and everyone saw that road roller. The road roller tire is very broad. Okay, so it offers the more friction on the road. But a cycle has the less friction because the tire is very thin compared to the road roller. This is the cycle wheel. This is the road roller wheel. Compared to the road roller wheel, the cycle wheel is very thin. Thus, the friction is lesser. The friction is higher because the area of the contact also higher in road roller. The area of the road roller wheel is broad. So the friction also higher. Cycle wheel is very thin. The contact to the cycle wheel on the road. So the cycle wheel is very thin. So friction also lesser in that places. So road roller as broad case offers more friction on the road. The cycle has the least friction because the area of contact is very less. So the friction also very lesser. So area of contact means the friction is directly related to the contact between the two surfaces, wheel and the road. So if the area of contact is greater means friction is higher, area of contact is thin, very thin. Lesser means the friction also lesser. So this is the concept. Area. So the factors affecting on the friction means there are three categories: nature of a surface, weight of the body, and the area of contact. So first, nature of surface means moving an object. Rough surface will be difficult. Soft surface, smooth surface means it is easy to move. That is that. First thing, nature. Nature of the surface. Weight of the body means the cycling. Example, when we want to pedal the cycle without any weight means it is very easy, or otherwise you can carry higher weight, that is 50 kg or 100 kg. So the in billion some other person are sitting on that area means the pedaling also very tough to move. There are 3 students are riding in a bicycle means the friction is higher in that area. Area of contact means the friction is directly related to the contact between the two surfaces. The area of surface is higher means friction also higher. Area of the surface is lesser means friction also lesser. Students, is there any doubt in this place? Is there any doubt? What is friction? What are the types of friction? Static friction and then kinetic friction. The kinetic friction also divided into 2 categories. One is rolling and sliding. And next topic is factors affecting the friction. Okay. See this picture. Yes, this is static friction. Static friction means immovable object. The boxes placed in this area. So this is static friction. Force means we want to move the box, means we want to supply some energy to move this box. Sliding friction, sliding motion. We want, yes, this is the sliding area. Sliding is one of the game in that in your playground. Otherwise, sliding area means in hospitals, the sliding area is helped to move the patients from one floor to another floor. So the sliding moving is very easy from the higher place to lower place. And next one is rolling friction. In rolling friction means the ball is rolled in this area. So here the friction is acting here. Here the friction is done in this place. This is the rolling friction, sliding friction, and then static friction. See this simulation. This simulation to explain the force, pressure, like that. Yes, one girl is standing here, one table, bench is here. with the help of this bench. Bench is the object to move the, explain the concept of net force. First, I want to choose the direction as left and then push or pull, push. Okay. Yes, the move is in opposite side. The girl push the bench. Yes, the bench is move into opposite side. Okay, this is called as push. The force is applied in this area. So the benches move front side. Okay, next one, right side. Yes, this is the right side movement. The boy is standing here. Yes, I'm choosing the pulling action, not pushing action. Pulling action means, yes, the boy pull the bench. Yes, the benches move in backward, not in front, because this is the action of pull. So the benches move in backward action. Next one, right side and push. Okay, the student is push the bench. Yes, the benches move into front side. Okay, this is force F1. This right side pulling. Yes, the benches come backward. So this is the pulling action, opposite side. Next one, there are two directions, force 1 and force 2. Yes, I am choosing left side and left side, same push and same pushing action in both sides. The two students are push the benches. Yes. What is the answer? When forces are applied on same direction, total force is said to be equal to the sum of the forces. So, the benches move into front side. Next one is in left side, another one is in right side. Both are push action. Okay. Yes. What is done? Yes, both are. When the force is applied in the opposite direction, net force is the difference of the two forces. The boy force is higher or girl forces are higher. Both are equal. When the force is applied the opposite direction, equal magnitudes, the net force is 0. There is no movement in this place. Okay. So, one is in right side, another one is in left side. Opposite side, one is pulling, another one is pushing. Yes, look at here. Yes. What is the result? When the forces applied in same direction, total net force said to be the sum of the forces. Both are an equal forces. Okay. So when the force applied the same direction, opposite direction, so it to be equal. One is pushing and then another one is pulling action. Okay. See here, both are pull the benches. When the force applied the opposite direction, differences of two acts and same and larger forces. Okay, yeah. So in this simulation, so the case 2 also F1 equal to F2. Okay, case 2 also F1 equal to F2. Yes, you ask the doubt, just you raise your hands. So is that clear, ma? Force. How the force is applied in that area? Depends upon the force level, the benches move on that area. So that is the force and that pressure. So what is the advantages of the friction? Yes, what are the advantages of the friction? That is the next topic in friction. Advantages of friction. What are the advantages? Friction is necessary for our activities because it is desirable most to the situation of our each and everyday life. We can hold the object in our hand due to the friction. Yes, I am holding the pen. Yes, I am holding the pen in my hand. With the help of the friction only, I am holding the pen. Or without any friction means, how can I hold this pen? Yes, it is too difficult. First, the objects in our hand due to the friction only. First advantages is we can hold objects in our hand due to friction only. Due to the friction, we hold the material, we carry the material, we move the material. Each and every action is the help of the friction. Without friction means we don't do that any work in our day-to-day life. And then we can walk on the road because of friction. We can walk on the road because of the friction. Without friction, how can we walk? Yes, it is too difficult to walk on that area. Writing on a paper, writing, reading, each and every action, writing on the board or writing on the paper due to the friction, easy to writing on a paper with the pen is due to friction only. Due to the friction, I am easily writing on this board. First thing, we can hold the objects in our hand due to friction. We can walk on the road due to the friction. We can write in a pen with a paper due to the frictions. Okay. And next one is very important. Automobiles. Yes, automobiles are move on the road with the help of the friction only. That is the important concept. Automobiles can move safely due to the friction. Without friction, how the tire is moved in that area? Yes, it is too difficult. Can you see the tire? Some projection saw in the tire. Yes, this small type of projection is help to move the road safely. So this projection is increase the friction of that tire. So the friction is help to move easily. So automobiles can move easily due to the friction between the tire and the road. Brakes can be applied due to the frictional resistance. Yes, brake is the very important role in the vehicle or not. Yes, brakes can apply due to the friction resistance on the brake shoes. Is there any disturbance will cross or just we are moving in fast manner, unexpectedly some vehicles or some animals are cross in that place means we want to apply the brake. When we apply the brake means the friction immediately, the friction is act on that area that fast the moving on the vehicle speed is completely completely slow with the help of the brake only. Yes, the friction is applied on that place. Next one, we're able to light a matchstick or chewing clothes on then not a fix of nail. These are all the examples due to the frictions only. So friction is the very good action. Without friction, we can't do any work easily. So what are these are all the advantages. What are the disadvantages of the friction? Disadvantages means friction because of the surface of rubbing with each other, like screws and gears or machines or soles of shoes. These are the disadvantages. An excess amount of effort has to be given overcome the friction, the operating of the machine. This leads to wastages of energy. The energy was waste in that area. So that is one of the disadvantages. First disadvantages. First disadvantages means the friction produces heat, causes the physical damages. Friction produce heat energy. Produce the heat energy. It will damage the object. The heat is affected on the object. So this is the first disadvantages of the friction. And second one, friction because the surfaces rubbing with each other means the machines are shows it will damages. Machines are damaged because of friction. And third one, an excess amount of effort we want to operate the machine means the life of the machine also lesser. Life period is less because of friction. Okay, these are all three disadvantages of friction. Okay, what is increasing and decreasing of friction? Yes, one is area of contact, using lubricants and using ball bearing. How can we increase the friction? How can we increase the friction action? Increasing the friction. How can we increase the friction means area of contact. Already we study the concept. Area of contact. Friction can be increased by increasing the area. Example, brake shoes in a cycle have an adjusted that they have the close to possible the rim of the wheel in order to increase the friction. Friction can be increased by the increasing of area. Increasing of area, it increase the area of the contact means increasing of area is increase the friction also. When we want to increase the area, the friction also increased on that places. And next one, using lubricants. Yes, what is lubricants? When we is there any different kinds of sound is come from your vehicle? Means just we want to apply oil that is called as lubricant. A substance to reduce the frictional force. Substance reduce the frictional force that is called as lubricants. We apply the lubricant that is grease, coconut oil, castor oil or the example of lubricants. The lubricants fill up the gaps to irregular surface in that body means it provide smooth layer to prevent the direct contact of the rough surfaces. So that is the usages of lubricants. And then ball bearing. What is ball bearing means? Rolling friction is smaller and sliding friction. Sliding is replaced the rolling with the usage of ball bearings. Same reason the shorts are used bearing in cycle. Oh, these are all the increase and decreasing of the frictions. Okay, so what is friction? What are the details we learned in this session means? Yes, is there any doubts? Just I'm going to write the topics of the session. Any doubts means you ask me, or otherwise you type, please. Friction. What is friction? And then what is force? What is pressure? And then what is friction? And what are the types of friction? And then factors affecting friction. And next one is advantages and disadvantages of friction. Advantages and disadvantages of friction. So these topics are we learnt in this session. First one is force, pressure, friction, types of frictions, and then factors affecting friction, and advantages and the disadvantages of friction. So these 7 topics we studied in this session. This is the right time to ask the questions or doubt session. You please ask me, is there any doubt in this area, or is there any clarification in this area, or some more example you want to know this area means, or these topics, just you ask me. What is force? What is pressure? What is friction? What are the types of friction? Static and kinetic friction, and affecting factors affecting the friction, advantages and disadvantages. Yes, you ask me, ma. Is there any doubt or is there any clarification? Definitely, I will explain one more on that place. Yeah, just raise your hand or you type the questions in that place. Friction. Friction is the force that opposes the motion of an object. That is the main point. And then friction depends on the nature of the surfaces and the mass of the bodies in contact. That is also the friction. 2 types of friction, static and kinetic. Kinetic friction classified into 2, rolling and sliding. There's no doubt. Okay, fine. Just you go through the topic in your textbook. Is there any doubt or clarification? You write down or underline. Definitely, please, you ask the doubts in next session also. Definitely, we will discuss about the doubts and the clarifications. Okay. Thank you, students. Jai Vidya Shakti, Jai Bharat, Jai Hind.